Hello everyone, I am Apeksha and I welcome you back to TMR Talks. In today's TMR Talk, we are going to discuss about a company which I think most of you will be aware about, and you might have also purchased a few products belonging to this particular brand and they will be in your kitchen. So I am talking about the products manufactured by the kitchen appliance brand which is Pigeon. So basically Stovecraft is a kitchen solution and home solution company, and they have these different brands under which they have been selling their products. So as we can see, there are total four of them. Talking about the first three, which is Pigeon, Pigeon LED, and Gilma, they have been manufacturing the products and then selling it. But for Black and Decker, as of now, they are just selling the products, and they have mentioned in their RHP that they plan to, commence the manufacturing operations as well for this particular brand in the coming future. Now we understand these are the four brands, but we also need to know what are the exact products that they are selling under each of these brands. For Pigeon, they have been selling pressure cookers, right from pressure cookers to tiffin boxes. So, there is a variety of products in cookware category, cooktops and other kitchen solution category, and then comes your small appliances. For the Black and Decker, where they are not manufacturing but they plan to do so, these are the products. So there are food processors, juicers, coffee makers, toasters, etc. Plus one interesting point I would like to tell you here when it comes to Gilma. So they have, a portfolio comprising of chimneys, hobs, cooktops. So it is there for different price range, but mainly they target the semi-premium customers. And the interesting thing was that they sell it through the Gilma stores only. So these stores are actually designed in such a way that they give you a modular kitchen experience. So have a look at this. These are the kind of stores that they have designed in order to sell these products. And then comes your Pigeon LED products. So they just started the manufacturing very recently, that is from 2019 onwards. So where are these products manufactured now? So they have total two manufacturing facilities. One is in Karnataka and the other one is in Himachal Pradesh. So here is the Karnataka facility, which has total 12 different manufacturing units, and they have a capacity utilization of 55%, which tells us that there is scope for more growth. So if you look at this closely, you can see that every year the installed capacity has been increasing, and so is the manufacturing used facility basically. And the same thing applies to the Himachal Pradesh facility as well. Now the Karnataka facility is actually spread over approximately 46 acres, and out of which 30 acres is available for further expansion. Along with manufacturing of products, they are also into trading of products, but they intend to reduce this and they want to focus more on manufacturing, and hence we can see there is a reduction in the overall contribution to sales from these trading activity. So we have so far spoken about what brands do they have, under each of the brand what kind of products they are selling at, and at what capacity are they operating. Now the next important question is, how are they selling the products eventually to the customers? So this is how their distribution network looks like. So they have 651 distributors in 27 states and 5 union territories. So for each of their brands, they have a different kind of network. And for Gilma, like I told you, they have straightaway stores. So they have total 65 stores, and mainly they are there in the south of India. Along with that, what they've done is they've also entered into certain arrangements or agreements. So they have an agreement with Flipkart, plus they have an agreement with Metro Cash and Carry India. For the products that they have been exporting, they also have certain agreements with their retail chains of that particular company. So they have 14 countries in which they have been exporting their products. Now also talking about how the distribution network has broadened for this company over the years. One thing is that in the year 2006, they had entered in some kind of a deal with your LPG companies, Indian Oil Corporation plus Hindustan Petroleum. So they actually utilized their sales and distribution network for round about 8 years. They had this deal for 8 years, which is why their reach had increased. And also because of the government initiative, which is Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, this also helped them in increasing their customer base in rural India as well. Here is the revenue breakup. So as we can see, Pigeon brand is the one that has been contributing maximum to their company, and that's actually the famous brand. And now let's come to the next important question, company kamata kitna hai? So the company has a top line of 669 crores for FY20. I'm talking about FY20. So the revenue has grown from round about 26% from FY18 to 20. But if you look at the margins, they are not great. So they, in fact, for 2018, their PAT is negative. Now that you can see in half year 21, their margins have improved. So what has happened is there are three things. One is that their employee expenses have gone down by around about 2%. Other expenses have also decreased by approximately 4%, and there is a reduction in inventory as well. So that has helped in improving these margins. Debt also, we can see debt is there. It is going to reduce by around about 25%, because in the RHP they have mentioned that the company is using 700 million out of fresh issue amount for this particular thing in order to reduce the debt. PE is very high. And now let's come to, when we talk about PE, let's directly jump to peer comparison. First of all, the margins of the company are very less. Here we have taken the margins for FY20, okay, for all the companies. So for TTK, Prestige and Hawkins, as you see, the PAT margin is round about 10%, and the other two companies, they don't even have a 1% PAT margin, which isn't a really good sign. So I haven't mentioned price to book value because they have a negative net worth, and so I've kept it blank. But I'll tell you the book value after post IPO figure. So post IPO, the book value is 23, and the price to book value is coming to 16. So it is again on a higher scale for a company which is not really having a good financial. Let me tell you some important details about this offer. So they are planning to raise 412 crores. 95 crores is fresh issue, rest is your offer for sale, and the price band is 384 to 85. These are the selling shareholders of the company, and the objective of offer, I told you already that they will be clearing their debt, not really clearing but reducing their debt to a certain extent, and they are using total 760 million for their debt repayment, and other is general corporate purposes. Now there is one more important point I want to tell you about the financials actually. So they have a non-current asset of 207 crores, okay. Current asset is of 263 crores. So the total asset is basically 471 crores. And the market capitalization post issue will be 1046 crores. So the total asset is not even half of their market capitalization. So it is not really making sense at these financials where their margins are not really high. Plus they had a negative year. They had a negative PAT in the year FY18. Plus their net worth is negative. Right now, it is not the good time to go ahead with this IPO, looking at how the financials are. So as the company have mentioned that they have plans for expanding further, and they would be manufacturing the Black & Decker products. So if they actually plan to do so, because they also have the capacity as we already saw, then I believe that will help them in boosting their overall revenue, which might help in improving the margins as well and the overall financials. So as of now, at this price, at this PE and the conditions of financials, you should not be going ahead with this IPO. We recommend you to avoid this. In the future, if they actually start manufacturing and improving their margins and financials, then we will definitely come up with other video. So for now, we recommend you to avoid this IPO. If you have any questions, doubts, clarifications, do let us know. You can mention it in the comment section, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then please do so. We have been coming up with videos related to finance, financial analysis, economic analysis, etc. Thank you so much.